Welcome to the Automation Car Design Competition. Over 450 entries, 11 categories, and Mr. Regular as a guest judge in his very own special category. The entries will be judged in 2 rounds, the preliminaries and the finals, for each category. The categories span from way back 40s luxury barges all the way to futuristic concept cars. The finals are judged in more detail on a scale from 0 to 10 in the main category and on a scale of 0 to 5 in 4 secondary categories for a maximum score of 30 points in total. At the end, there can only be one to claim victory in the category. Today, we shall find out who will win in the 80s Premium Sedan category. Category E, the 80s Premiums. Yes, 3 cars have made it into the finals. And the first one we're going to take a look at is Jack Cossack. And this one definitely looks 80s. And really nicely made with... Is this a bumper on a stripe or something? Or a stripe on a stripe? It's quite nice design. And all 80s in the back too. Nicely made. Okay. Yeah, I like this one. What do the judges think?
A very 80s looking car with a very typical taillight cluster and a very long overhang at the front.
The squeezed rear and the noticeable front overhang breaks the overall flow and looks of the car. A proper 80s hard front and a nice rear, even if it is a bit too thin.
Reminds me of the first family car I grew up with, except mine was a shitbox, haha. But the sloping silhouette doesn't gel with the boxy cabin.
The same chrome plastic striping all around the car and the same styling on the lamp clusters.
The bumper stripes and the shape of headlights and taillights keep the car decently together.
I can't fault the boxy look all around and the particular chrome plastic trimmings.
Decently detailed front with the model designation set into the vent. Striping has not the best care to it.
Good lettering and tiny vents along the front bumper stripe, but the side stripes need more care.
I'm not so sure about the extra indicator lights on the headlight array. I can see what was intended on the rear, but it could have been a little bit tidier.
A design like expected, nothing that is out of place, nothing special though.
A classic 80s look, with no out-of-ordinary use of fixtures in unusual places.
I see little touches of flare on the bumper. You can see the effect on the aero, it's very subtle.
Appropriate chassis choices, decent engine paired with good stats, result in high market acceptance.
A bit advanced valve train, but apart from that, spot on.
This fits the bill nicely and performs well.
And the second car in the finals of category E is Machalel's car, and it sure looks 80s, and it's an elite car. What the hell is this number though? 257 horsepower. That is mighty sporty. And it is a V12. Alright. Alright. Yeah, it's quite nifty. It's quite nifty. Not quite my style, I have to admit, but it's quite nifty. Anyway.
Quite a bold front with what feels like oversized headlights. The rear is quite barren.
The front headlights are bold and the rear is thin and lacks in detailing. The side is consistent and the body color is picked perfectly.
The fixture choices are appropriate, but there's no real sense of cohesion in line or form.
Overall, the car does have no distinct look. The rear is a whole different car really.
No specific recall of the car except for the badging and the chrome line running around the car.
Round edges, angles, clashing lines, Spartan rear. It's a bit of a hodgepodge, unfortunately.
Apart from the side badging, there's nothing much to see.
Lacks in details, like connecting the chrome stripes. The only nice one is the side badge.
There are little touches here and there, but things like the chrome strip have ended up broken and uneven.
The front end has some interesting use of fixtures going on: windshield deflectors, hood strapping and the crossed grille.
Front crossing vent in the middle, but nothing much else creative going on here.
Suicide doors are an interesting choice here. It might help considering the rear door is too short.
Space frame chassis, that's weird. V12, that's even weirder. And luxury interior? Odd choices, and yet the car scores pretty well.
V12 and luxury interior are too high for the market, and the space frame chassis is unfitting.
Very good scores, but very weird choices, not least the V12, the space frame, and the race car downforce package.
The last contender for the crown in Category E is Vinny Scarletto with this creation. Oh yeah, quite imposing front. It looks distinctly more American to me than the other two. And oh yes, especially the rear. Nicely made. Really cool rear. And of course turbo. Not quite as insane, still a lot of power for this class of car in that era. But a V6. Much more reasonable. Anyway, judges, make your judgment.
Wow, that car looks amazing. The front screams American Premium, the rear screams pure 80s. Absolutely great.
One of the best interpretations of an American sedan of the 80s. The front is very well made, solid and well done, and the rear fascia is really good and well crafted.
4th gen Monte Carlo, anyone? This is bang on 80s USDM.
The front sadly looks a bit detached from the rear.
Aside for the bumper's consistency between the front and rear, there is not even a budge recall.
The cues are mostly consistent throughout. The grille bordering the rear taillight array should have been chrome, but that's not a material choice. Perhaps another approach.
The rear has a great arrangement of taillights with a nicely inserted badge, nice detail, the antenna on the right fender.
A great work of detailing on the rear fascia and nice fitting black details on the side of the car.
Rather tidy, with good attention to detail, just slightly unusual placement of some of the secondary fixtures like the fog lights.
A lot of fixture use has been done to create this rear lamp cluster. Some nice ideas going on the front.
I like the idea he delivered for the rear fascia, but apart from that, there is nothing really creative in the fixture use.
Nothing absolutely groundbreaking here, but the overall approach is solid.
Interesting choice of a 90-degree V6. That's a bit unusual here. Otherwise, a set of very solid choices.
A lot of spot-on premium choices. Unfortunately, the tune is not as good as it can be.
The choices are right, but it ends up in the wrong demographic, probably in no small part due to the turbo tuning and the very firm ride.
The judges have spoken. We do have a winner, and the winner is Vinny Scarletto with 22.7 points, followed by Jack Cossack with 21.7, and Machalel is taking the last podium place on third with 16.5 points. And congratulations to the winner! There are many more categories to come. I hope you're stoked for that. Hope you enjoyed, and see you guys next time.